So every day we inch closer to December 5th, or the day the transfer portal officially opens up, more and more names are entering the portal, and today we need to talk about several big names in college football who've entered their name into the transfer portal. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe we will continue seeing big name players in college football test the transfer portal? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. And one more thing is a quick announcement. Tonight's live stream will be postponed until tomorrow evening. That way we can be live during the unveiling of the college football playoff rankings. We can discuss them real time. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and I can't wait to see you. But now let's refocus and talk about the transfer portal. Because one thing we've come to expect is that the transfer portal will giveth, but the transfer portal will taketh. So many of you heard me say that so many times last season, and it is going to ring true once again this offseason. Today, we need to discuss several big names in college football who've just recently entered their name into the transfer portal and what this means. We need to start in Oklahoma, where Theo Wease has entered his name into the transfer portal, and this is one that stings if you're an Oklahoma fan. Theo Wease is a very talented college football player, someone I have no doubt almost every institution that has wide receiver need will be contacting Theo Wease. Any institution that feels like they're so close to contention, I can imagine they'll be giving Theo Wease a phone call. This is a guy that can take the top off of defense. He is a very talented prospect. He was a top 300 player coming out of high school, and this is someone where Oklahoma fans have been wondering whether or not he'll be a larger percentage of their offense for quite some time. A lot of Oklahoma fans have wanted to see him get a larger workload because of how talented he is, something that's just never really come about. So it's not totally surprising to see Theo Wease enter the transfer portal. I'm just very interested to see where he ends up, because I can imagine, like I said, almost every institution in the nation is going to give it a try, trying to get him into their place, because he is that gifted. It's not very often you get a player with the talent of Theo Wease, with the experience of Theo Wease, and that still has the eligibility he has left. So once again, very big name entering the transfer portal. He is not alone though. Cade McNamara, the former quarterback of Michigan, has also entered the transfer portal. And once again, this one isn't so much as surprising that he entered the transfer portal. I'm just a little bit surprised that he entered right now. With Michigan looking squarely at the playoffs, I imagined that this would be an individual who would transfer once the season was officially over for the Wolverines. There's still some college football to be played left for the Michigan Wolverines. I just thought that he'd be there till the end of the season. However, like I said, I am not at all surprised that he is entering the transfer portal. JJ McCarthy won that job. He looks to be the future of the Michigan Wolverines football team, and he has got a lot of experience left. So not surprising that McNamara enters the transfer portal. Once again with Cade McNamara though, this is an individual I can imagine a lot of institutions will be after. It's not every day you have the opportunity to get someone out the transfer portal with college football playoff experience, something that I think is going to prove to be very valuable for McNamara. Another name entering the transfer portal that you need to be aware of comes from the University of Alabama, offensive lineman Dameon George Jr., someone who had starting experience with the Crimson Tide. This is an individual who was a top prospect coming out of high school from the state of Texas who went to Alabama, but once Booker came in and really cemented himself as the future, I think the writing was pretty much well on the wall that someone from this offensive line room was going to transfer, and inevitably, it's Dameon George Jr. It's going to be really interesting to see where he goes, because once again, guys, the transfer portal gives you such a unique opportunity. In recruiting, you can get a 5-star player, but there's no guarantee that they're going to translate from high school football to college football. The jump is really large. I've said this many times, I'm going to say it again. In high school football, there's no baseline of athleticism. In college football, there's at least a base athleticism. The guy you're going up against was one of the top prospects in the nation, as were you, whereas in high school, you could be a 5-star going up against a team where none of them will go play college football. The transfer portal gives you an opportunity to go get someone with legitimate college football experience, someone that has made the transition, and that's something that's going to be very valuable. We've seen teams value this so much, and that's why a few days ago I posed the question to all of you, how do you expect the transfer portal to affect recruiting with the transfer portal opening up December 5th and early National Signing Day opening up December 21st? I digress. We need to get to our last 3 names, all of which entering the transfer portal from the same institution, and that's Texas A&M. Texas A&M is an institution a lot of people around the nation are going to be watching closely December 5th. What's going to happen? We've already discussed some names entering the transfer portal, but since that time, 3 more individuals are now going to be testing the waters. First and foremost, LJ Johnson, the running back, then Ish Harris, the linebacker, and Elijah Jeudy, the defensive end. And one of the reasons why I say people are going to be watching Texas A&M is the fact that they got the top recruiting class last year and the way their season has gone. And it's not just the wins and losses. It's all the chaos that has happened behind the scenes. All 3 of these individuals, very talented players that in a perfect world, Texas A&M would have loved to hold on to because coming out of high school, they were very highly touted guys. LJ Johnson, the running back, I expect to find a home quite quickly, as well as Ish Harris because of the flexibility he has at that defensive position. The transfer portal is going to continue popping. Make no mistake about it. More names will continue to enter. Big names will continue to enter. And we're going to be right here covering it all, trying to make sense of it. Until then, hop down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.